don't see retail investors spending the amount of money they were spending last year. I think that's really going to be a big sign on the American consumer's pocketbook. But the number one stock I got my eye on is Apple.
Okay. I was just looking at some information.
Say what?
No, I was just looking at some of the SPY stocks. Apple is definitely one of them.
Hey, when Apple go, the market goes. I've been saying that all year. When Apple go, the market goes. Because Apple is the market.
All right, so this is what I got on Apple. Say Apple currently trading price is it's currently at 182.52. When I did this, it was at 182.54, so it's down a couple cents, with about a 13.51% return in the last 12 months. Recent news suggests that Apple stock has rebounded, breaking the resistance that has been hindering it for the past 3 months. This indicates a possible end to a short-term downtrend and a potential for a continued longer-term uptrend. Okay.
Now, a lot of Apple people did buy the dip when it got down to 166. I'm looking at it has to break 182.34. 182.34. If it breaks 182.34 and holds at 182.34, then I would be bullish Apple, but not for a long time, just because if you open up Apple on the daily, right, and you look at the RSI of Apple on the daily, looks like it's overbought. And so you're going to have a lot of people either looking to take profits, and it's going to need to hold that 182.34 today. Because if it done broke out already and it done got a higher high. Now, it's going to retest, right? It's got to retest the bottoms. But if it's got a higher high, then it could get a higher low. Now, if we look at where the higher low could be, we still looking at a 171 to 176 test, right?
Yeah.
So if Apple holds above 182.34, 182.34. If Apple closes today above 182.34, and it continues this streak this week, then I'm going to be looking for a pullback into the low 170s, and I would say Apple is probably a buy. Now, if we look at the SPY, you say you had the SPY pulled up. Yeah. If you pull up the SPY and you look at Apple versus the SPY, they look like they in lockstep, right? You got to look for that break in Apple versus the SPY to see where the divergence is going to be. And I'm going to pull up the SPY real quick on this other side here. Okay, let me just pull the SPY down here real quick. Okay, let me play this message.
The SPY, I don't read charts. I read money, facts on it.
What's up, Tweety Load?
What's going on, man? All right. So the SPY is at 436. was up at 438 today. Now on the 5-day, the SPY has been doing nothing but climbing.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the 5-day on Apple. Get out of here. And it's almost identical. Right?
Yep. Right. I'm looking at it.
The only difference is on Friday, it had a little dip, whereas on Friday for Apple, it had a little pop. So typically, when you're talking about the S&P 500 stocks, when you see these type of divergences, if the SPY has a pop, but Apple has a dip, that means that when the SPY popped, they weren't buying more Apple, right? And so I was talking about this like 6 months ago. There was a huge divergence in the SPY and Tesla. Tesla was going down while the SPY was going up. Yeah. And I said they selling Tesla because, you know, all the SPY is a giant ETF, right? Mm-hmm. They buy and they hold these stocks. And so Tesla went from being 7% of the S&P 500 to like 3 or 4% of the S&P 500. And back then I said, okay, they done with Tesla. From now on, you're going to see more of a retail investor movement based on Tesla and less of a market. So you can, and at the same time, what did they buy? They bought Berkshire Hathaway B. And Berkshire Hathaway B shot up to the top 20. And now Berkshire Hathaway B, I believe, is number 8 in the S&P 500. So looking at Apple, my number right now for Apple is at 182.34. That's what I'm looking for.
Got you locked in.
I'm not really making any plays on Apple. If I was going to make any plays on Apple, I might buy a 2-week put at like 171, 172, and then I might buy a 4-week call in the money at 182 on Apple, just to hedge. If it does continue to go up, then you make money on the long end
on the call,
right? Mm-hmm. And then you still have that put because it's gonna have to retest at some point in time.
So you the put would be for further out strike price than the call, or vice versa.
The put would be for the short term on 2 weeks.
Okay.
And the call would be further out because
30 days to
say,
1.5.
Let's say that it does pull back, right, to that 172, which is what I think is more likely. If it does pull back, then you make that money on the short end on that put.
Yeah.
And then you double
which is
down.
about a $10 move from where it's at right now.
Right. And then you double down whenever you sell that put, and you get you a second call.
Yeah, you double down on the call, ride it back up.
Right. And then you're going to make double the money on that. But if it keeps going up, then you lose less money on the short put.
Yeah. If anything, you get out of it or it expire worthless and catch your back end on the call going up.
Exactly. Hold on. Now on Apple, when you put the Bollinger Bands on it, right? The Bollinger Bands right now got Apple 165 to 183.96. So it's at the top of the Bollinger Bands right now.
So you're talking about potential reversal. So that's why you're saying if it don't hold above the 182.34, it's a potential reversal, being that it's buttoned up against the Bollinger Band.
Right, and 200-day moving average is 181.32. So it's already trying to overtake the 200-day moving average. And it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 positive candles, 4 positive candles over the 20, which is just unheard of without some type of pullback.
Yeah.
So it done already took the 20, it done took the 50, it done took the 200. Now, this is the thing. When the algos see this, the algos sell. They start selling, right? And so I think that the algorithms are going to push it down, right, back to the 20, around 175. And then I think it's going to bounce off the 20 and go back up, which is why I'm saying 2 weeks put in that mid 170 area, and then a 4-week call in that 200 moving average. If I was going to be making a play on Apple, that's what I would be doing on Apple. But I look at Apple kind of like just looking at the S&P 500 personally. You know what I'm saying? Like I playing Apple, I feel like is like playing the market. So I think that it could be a good play. But right now inflation is in control of the market. So I'm looking for guaranteed plays. Like I'm looking for plays where the stock is outside of the Bollinger Bands, grossly outside of the Bollinger Bands. That way I'll have conviction in the play.
I like it. Because just looking at SPY, what was that? Monday, we talked about some numbers. Big number was the 438. I believe above there is like 41, but right now 38 is the mark. I know I called out the 36 and 37, which actually hit the 37 Monday evening, retraced a little bit, traded sideways Tuesday, and still trading sideways today. It haven't left that top up there at 438. It made a high today in pre-market at 438.09, so it did get that mark. I'm looking at the hour chart right now. Little intraday, but it is holding right there. I'm looking for it to, to pull back a little bit, into lunchtime, and I think it could make its way down and then press back up to hook the bull some more. Cause people thinking it's gonna go up, and my long-term play is back to 407 eventually on the SPY. So going off what you said about Apple, if Apple don't hold at 182.34 and SPY can't hold above 438, then I think it's going to turn over eventually.
Yeah, I think playing the downside on the SPY is probably really smart. Crude, just for a quick, crude just touched 79.60. So it's in the 70s, which I think is very telling about the market. Now, Jerome Powell is supposed to be speaking with the central banker of the Israeli central bank this week. I think it's tomorrow. I think that could definitely elevate some tensions in the Middle East, which could send crude prices higher. But I just think that it's so volatile. That's why I'm not really trying to play with the crude right now. Another thing it's important to watch is the Dixie, right? The dollar index, and if you look at the dollar index on the daily, right, the DXY, right now it's at around 105, 106, but it had a huge dip. It had a huge dip back in July where it was down to 100, right at even. And so watching the Dixie, I think is going to be very important to understand understanding what's going on in this market. So just keeping an eye on the Dixie, because when the dollar starts to get weaker, it's going to be good for equities. As long as the dollar stays where it is, it's gonna drive equities down. Now, I could see the Dixie going down to like 104. Could definitely see the Dixie going down to 104. But right now the Dixie is at 105.48. Since the opening of the opening of the market, it started up at 105.87, and it has dropped straight down like a rocket. Looking at it on the 5-day, it is a negative divergence. It's looking weak. The weaker it looks, the better for markets. But it could just be retesting. It hasn't gotten to a lower low yet. And if it stays above that lower low, we could be looking for a higher high. If we get the higher low, and that's going to be bad for equities in November. If that happens, that could trigger a market crash. Because at that point, we get back to that 107 area, you're going to see people start piling into bonds a little. You will see people start piling back into bonds.
Yeah, 107 is the mark on my daily chart.
Yeah,
that's where smart money's sitting. That's where it's topped out after it pushed up from where'd it come from? Down at $99.22. Back in July. Back in July, it bottomed out at 99.22, and it's been on a tear on up to 107.5 cents. And been trading sideways for the last about month and a half, since about October 3rd. So about the last month, been trading sideways in between 107 and 104 is the bottom, which right now on the daily, it looked like it just turned around and it's pressing back to the top. So, which concurs what you're saying.
I'm trying to keep the people updated, man, because I think that we're about to see, and I've been saying this for almost 2 years now. I think that the largest move of money in the past 1,000 years is about to happen, and people are gonna be asleep when it happens, and that's crazy. It's crazy. People and I seriously think, I don't want to talk about it just now, but I know we're gonna get into it later. But I seriously think that we are about to see the new gold, aka Bitcoin.
Talk about it.
Hey, we ain't gonna talk about it yet. We're gonna save the dessert. We're gonna save the dessert. But I think Bitcoin is gonna show its ass this year.
In Q4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. People are gonna finally realize, information. We're in the information age. Information security. I don't think people understand that Bitcoin is a security. It is a secure method of transferring information. And that is going to be so powerful in this coming future. this message real quick.
Crypto super high, man. What up? I think Bitcoin gonna go up to like 130 at the end of next year. Might buy a few pennies. But I was just really love Sheba. I think that shit gonna hit. I think those gonna come up too again. And do y'all got crypto wallets? Yeah, facts one.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that the past 3-4 years was a test of which cryptos are going to actually make it, and I don't think 99% are going to make it. The same way when the .com bubble finally burst, 99% of internet pages failed, right? And I think we're looking at the same situation, where Bitcoin is going to be gold, Ethereum is going to be silver, and then, you know, if you need to do something on a certain site, you might need Avalanche. If you need to do something on a certain site, you may need Cardano. If you need to do something on a certain site, you may need Shiba. You may need
Poly. What about Poly?
Dogecoin. You may need any of these coins on specific sites, but I think that most of these coins are just forks of Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them.
Yep. All the 0x coins.
Yeah. So my thing is, I would rather have a buttload of Ethereum and Bitcoin, because I'm definitely going to be able to get anything else by having those coins, you know. But I do want to save that for the end, because Bitcoin and Tesla, I got some stuff I want to talk about when we get to the end. I just want to kind of get caught up on basically what's going on. The things that help us decide what's going to happen in the market, i.e., the 10-year yield, which I'm about to talk about now, the Dixie, Brent crude, the S&P 500, all the very important baselines. So the 10-year yield, I think this is one of the most important charts that everybody should be paying attention to. Okay. The 10-year yield right now is at 4.259. I'm looking at a 10-year yield that tried to touch 5% this month, right? It tried to touch 5% this month, and people lost their minds. They said 10-year yield at 5%. Matter of fact, it was October 23rd. It touched 5%, and people lost their ever-loving minds. You had bond bulls that started shorting bonds, and the market reacted. More people started getting the end of Clinton's reign, we start seeing the bond rates really start dipping, right? George Bush comes in, pushes them up a little bit with the Middle Eastern wars, and then Obama comes in and you see a huge dip. One, because a lot of people in the market left the market. I think it was because of racism, but a lot of people in the market left when Obama became president and took their money to Europe. And you start seeing Europe bonds jumping. So now America needs to get that money back, right? And the only way to do that is by having people wanting to buy these treasury bonds. Best way to do that, another war or a stock market crash, which could see rates going up to 6, 8, 10, maybe even 14% again. So this is why I've been telling people that buying 1 year, 6 month bonds is the smartest thing you can do right now. Now, when you see the 10-year yield get over 6%, then you want to start looking at them 5 years. Then when you see it getting a little higher than that, the 2 year is starting to overtake, and you see the inversion of the yield curve, we start getting into recession. That is when you're going to start wanting to buy more treasury bonds.
I was just finna ask where you buying these bonds at. I was finna ask you if you're buying them at using the Treasury Direct account or.
Yes.
Okay,
Treasury
cool.
Direct.
All right, I have one. I have mine set up and connected to my bank.
Yeah.
I just ain't never
messed
with
them. You can do it through a brokerage, and you can do it through a bank, but I think that
just through the TDA Direct, the
right,
TDA,
exactly.
Yeah, and I got my bank accounts connected to the TDA account.
Yeah,
that's Treasury
so I
Direct account.
Think that, definitely buying 6 month and 1 year bonds. Definitely 2 years. Like if let's just say, because they minimum $1,000 a piece, right? You buying $10, $100 bonds, right? So basically, if let's say I had $10,000, what would I do with $10,000? I would buy 5 6 month bonds. I would buy 3 1 year bonds, and I would buy 2 2 year bonds. And then 6 months from now, I would reassess where we're at in the market, and I would take the money I made off of those 6 month bonds. And if we haven't gone up over 5%, I would buy 6 month bonds again. And then 6 months, then I'd reassess with the 1 year bond money and the 6 month bond money. And, if we haven't gone over 6%, I'd do it again, 6 months and 1 year. And I'd keep doing that until we get over 6%. Once we get over 6%, then I would go to 1 years and 2 year bonds. And then once we get over 6.5, 7%, then I'm going to start looking at 10-year bonds, right? Because then you're just making money. Like, you're just making money, okay? Now, let's go ahead and move on from the bond market to my favorite. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Bitcoin in a second. Okay, the VIX, the volatility index of the S&P 500.
Talk about
this is what you need to look at when you're deciding to play in the S&P 500, right?
Right.
So the lower the VIX is, the more volatility you're going to see. The lower the VIX is, the more puts you're going to see in the market. The higher the VIX is, the more calls you're going to see in the market. So this morning, is it this morning? Wow. This morning we got a huge yellow candle at red candle at 10:30, where the VIX went from 477 all the way down. 1477 all the way down to 1454. For the VIX, that's a pretty big swing on the 5-minute candle, right? So that is not a good positive sign. The fact that the VIX is under 15, a lot of people want to play calls on the VIX. Now, you can do this in many ways. Huh?
I'm trying to take a look. We got a bottom down at 1448 on the dailies, on daily candles. So I'm looking like it can push down further. Who knows? Into next week, which means the SPY would be running, right? Which is kind of opposite of what I actually thought would be going on. But it don't look like it's slowing up, I tell you. But who knows? 1448 ain't far off from where that. We talking like 30-something cent. You feel me? So
let me blow your mind real quick. Why don't you pull up the UVXY real quick? Pull up the UVXY, and we're gonna look at the UVXY on the 1 month, right? On the 1 month.
UVXY.
A lot of people play the VIX through the UVXY.
Okay, UVXY.
This is
ultra short.
This is how most people play the ultra short.
Ultra short.
That's
okay,
right.
I got you.
So you looking at the 1 month?
I'm pulling it up now. All right, I got it. I hear some noise. I'm finna step out. Talk to the people.
Okay, so the UVXY on the 1 month, we're looking at a high of 1981. When it gets near 20, that people look at the VIX to see how volatile moves are going to be. The higher the number, the bigger the swings you're going to see in the market, specifically in the SPY. So you may see the SPY go from 438 all the way down to 400 with a high VIX. Right now the VIX is low; it's around 14. So you're not really looking at that much volatility, but the VIX can move really quickly. Now, if we scroll out on the 6 month on the VIX, now the VIX resets, right? It resets. So you got to be careful about playing the VIX. You got to be really quick. You got to time it perfectly. It was up to $35 back in June. A lot of people remember in June there was a lot of volatility. Then we scroll out to the VIX on the year, and we see that this time last year it was at 93.70. We had a lot of volatility, a lot of movement in the market. Now, what happens is this volatility spikes typically when there's going to be a lot of movement in the market. And so we go back to 2020, right, when the pandemic hit and the market started going crazy. So big events send the VIX up really high, send the volatility up really high. If you were playing the VIX back in 2020, we go out to 5 years, you'll see the VIX went from $14 up to $9,111.
Shit.
I
see it. That's fucking crazy.
You're talking a 10,000x on your money. You're talking if you put $1 in, you got 10,000 off $1. That's the type of movements people make when they time the VIX right. Now, a lot of people lose a lot of money trying to play the VIX because it doesn't happen that often. Now, if you go on the max, if you look at the max VIX, right, and you go back to 2012, right, $14 went up to $14 billion November 25th, 2011. So you're talking a 1 billion X on your money back in 2012. So the VIX can make you really, really, really wealthy if you time it perfectly, but it's so hard to time. So what a lot of people do is they'll buy a 1 week call on the VIX every week when they think there's a lot of volatility in the market. Spend about $5 to $10 on it. If it pops, you might make $200 off a $5 to $10 play, right? If it pops big, like World War III big, you might make 10 grand off a $10 play. So, a lot of people do just buy VIX calls weekly. It's like a lottery. It's literally a lottery ticket. And with the volatility in the geopolitical landscape right now, it could be a good play. Especially with Powell talking to the Israeli bankers this week, because they really want to go in and get Hamas and get the Gaza Strip. And America really wants to play this in a way to where it won't play negatively in a political sphere, because we do got smartphones today, so people can see everything today. Also, the VIX is oversold. It is way oversold on the RSI. Way oversold. So this is a week where I'm probably gonna grab a UVXY call. And while we're talking about it, let me go on real quick and see how much they cost. I'll let you know how much a UVXY call is going to cost. UVXY pro shares. So if you were going to buy, oh God, it's down to 12.6. Oh my God. Wow. Wow, you could get a $14 in the money for $9
What?
this week. Yeah, and if you wanted to play the long, yeah. See, the January's is costing $200 in the money. You could get a $20 for $100. Let's see about the Christmas play. Yeah, your boy about to grab one of these. I don't know which one I'll grab. I think I'm gonna play a week from now. The government can't get their stuff together, and the government shuts down. I think I might get the November 24th. What's the 17th looking like? I want the 14. I think I want the 14. I think I'm gonna go November 24th. I think I'm gonna get the 14 for $52. I think that's too much time because it resets every week. That's just too much time. The shorter you go with the VIX, the less money you'll lose. So I would just buy it every Monday or as cheap as you can get it. I think I might get one for this Friday. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this $9 call on the VIX. I'm sorry, $14 call on the VIX. It's gonna cost me $9, and it is done. So if there is a major
turn
escalation,
a major turn.
If there's a major, yeah, I had to do it. $12 on the VIX. $12.
And what's the potential in it? You just said the potential is endless. It's just about if there's a major turn, which could happen here shortly in the next day or two.
Right. Let me see if I can open up the implied volatility is 123%. Oh my God. There's only an 11.6% chance of profit, but it's a $9 play. Yeah, I mean that's I'm gonna be buying a VIX call every week until something does pop off, because there's no way that this de-escalates. Unfortunately, like I'm not a promoter of war, but I'm not gonna not make money when everybody else is making money. That's just how I gotta look at it. But oh my God, yeah. So I got me a UVXY play for this week. Let's see.
Trying to load up Thinkorswim now. I ain't want to bring it up. I got it live streaming and recording, so I had to take my screen down so I could log into it because I'm using my phone.
You're good. I'm definite. This is gonna be a long show today. If you can hang in there, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Did a lot of research over the past, couple of days. We didn't have a show yesterday. I was thinking about what you said before about doing a Monday show, a Wednesday show, and a Friday show. I think that could work out pretty good. Okay. What you know about them triple Qs, huh? What you know about them triple Qs?
Hey, they usually follow the SPY. Basically, a smaller version of the SPY with a select group of stocks. What is the tech stocks, I believe?
Yeah. Mostly tech, NASDAQ, futures. I feel like the triple Qs is dangerous to play. Just because the tech stocks, they're so overbloated. They're so overbloated right now. Right now, the triple Qs have been overbought for over a week. The RSI is up in the 80s on the weekly. I'm gonna pull up the 5-day real quick.
Crazy. It definitely looked like it got room to run.
That's the thing, and it looked like it's a higher high on the 1 month, right? It looks like a higher high on the 1 month, but then you zoom out to the 6 month, and you see that it was a series of lower highs, but we just broke that lower high right now. So is this going to be a breakout for the triple Qs, or is it a trap? Right. The MACD shows there's a lot of people buying and selling the triple Qs. Right. We're nowhere near the top of the Bollinger Bands, so it's got room to run.
I'm looking.
To the top of the Bollinger Bands.
Let me see. Because where's your top at? Because I'm looking up around. It could be shoot. Let's see. Go back to the
382.
Wait. Well, I got a high at 387.98. Depending on how far I go back. Well, yeah, 387.98 is the top. And but I'm looking at like if it go get that 387.98, will it continue and going up to 407, 408? And if it get there, then where the hell would the SPY be? At 480?
Right. So
490?
Somebody gotta be lying. Somebody gotta be lying. Right?
Especially when I'm saying the SPY going the other way.
Mm-hmm. So who's lying? The SPY or the triple Q?
The triple Q's gotta be lying.
Triple Q's got to be lying, bro.
Especially
They
with
gotta be lying.
with the stuff
It's gotta be
with
a trap.
Apple could have some serious trouble with China. That's definitely a telltale. And we know
They gotta be lying.
NVIDIA and AMD been running up.
Super overbloated. Super. And on top of that, right? On top of that, let's pull up the IWM real quick. Look at the IWM, the SPY, and the triple Qs right next to each other. And you tell me who's lying. The Russell 2000, right? The small caps. Look at the 6 month on the triple Qs, the Russell 2000, and the SPY. Look at them next to each other. And you tell me who's lying.
I think my Wi-Fi running slow. Got too much going on. Okay.
Because the Russell 2000 already started this pullback. But the triple Qs acting like they're gonna take off. I think they're waiting for the Fed speakers today. That's what I think's going on.
Okay. So let's see how this look together. Put that there. What do we have? This is the slowest my Wi-Fi done ever ran. Must be because I'm streaming. Oh, I'm tripping. I got it pulled up. I'm trying to pull it up twice. Okay. All right. So that. All right. I see IWM pressing on 172.17. Coming out the bottom, but looks like this the second trying to reverse on the weekly candles. So let me do this. Let's go back to the Qs. Let me put the Qs next to it. This thing is running super duper slow. I'm running super duper slow over here. I gotta get my computer out of storage. I'm working on my laptop. Okay. Yeah.
No, my wife do super powerful laptops because she got to be able to be mobile. So she gets a new laptop like every 2 years, and so I get the old one.
Hey.
So this laptop is a monster.
Yeah, the Qs look insane next to IWM.
There you go. So if the IWM and the Qs look like they lockstep, right? Then maybe the SPY is lying. But I think the SPY looked just like the triple Qs. Now, Microsoft is, I think, the most honest stock in the market right now. I actually got a share of Microsoft, even though I'm not really trying to play too many tech stocks for real right now. But Microsoft's resistance zone is around 342 to like 348, 362. I think Microsoft is getting ready to become the best stock in the SPY. I want everybody to write that down. Super High Man 420 on November the 8th said Microsoft is about to become the best stock in the SPY. That Apple is going to crash and Microsoft is going to take over as the new leader in the market, even over Google, because I think Google is going to have to sell some of its parts because they're getting hit with monopoly charges. So I think Microsoft is the place to be. I wish that I would have started buying shares. Well, actually, I did buy a share when it was at 320. So I've got a pretty good price on it. I think that's going to be a good price for Microsoft. Is 320. Now I think that if we scroll out and look at the 1 year, I definitely think we see that it has now overtaken its 1 year high. We now have a higher high on the 1 year. The previous high was 359.49.
Yep, I see it.
Now we go out to the 5 year, and if we keep this higher high, then we have to retest to see if we get a higher low. So I think we might have a dip that gets us back down to the 280 to 300, which I think is going to be my buying range for Microsoft. Is going to be 280 to, I'm going to say 320. I think that's going to be my buying range for Microsoft, because there is going to be a test for everybody. But
yeah, the range it came out of was between which would be this week, last week, the week before, the last month, let's say. It came out of a 327.68 down to 309 range. Wait. 327 down to 309. 280 is another 20, 30 bucks. But I mean, you never know, like, because if the SPY roll over, it could roll over. You know what I'm saying? It's
yes, sir.
Anything.
Yes, sir. Now we talking about the SPY. Let's look at the top 10 stocks in the SPY, like we did last time. You remember last time we looked at the top 10 stocks in the SPY?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta pull this up on a different page. Top 10 SPY stocks. What? Sponsored? That's not what I want. Oh man, I hate it when it does that. I hate when it clicks on the. I want sponsored. There we go. Oh! Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Guess what the number one stock in the SPY is?
Not Microsoft.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate when I'm right. All right. Number
I see
one
it's right
stock.
there. Yeah.
Boy, listen. Number one stock right now in the SPY is Microsoft. You heard it here, folks. Number 2 is Apple. And I think that's going to be overtaken by Amazon. Wow. And look, they got 82 million shares of Microsoft, and they're probably going to double that because they got 163 million shares of Apple, right? Boy, don't play with them. Don't play with them. Okay, so Microsoft, I think, is going to be the winner when it's all said and done. After the major dip, I think it's going to be the winner when it's all said and done. Number 2, Apple. Number 3, Amazon. Number 4, Nvidia, which I think they only got 27 million in Nvidia. I think that's going to drop. Number 5, Google. Number 6, Meta. Number 7, Google. Number 8, Berkshire. Number 9, Tesla. 10, United Health Group, UNH. This is another good stock that I was talking about. Eli Lilly, number 11. JP Morgan, number 13. Let's see if there's some other. Walmart, Pepsi, and Coca-Cola, 25, 26, 27. McDonald's, 31. Walmart is another stock that we got to talk about. I got that later on. We're gonna talk about Walmart later on. We got that. That's one of the last ones. Tesla, Walmart, and Bitcoin. Those are gonna be the wrap ups. Okay. So Microsoft, this could be a good place for a long put on Microsoft, because I do think that Microsoft has been trading in a very tight channel, right? It's just been going up without any retest.
Up and away.
You see it, right?
Yeah, it looks crazy on the weekly, on the daily candles.
No retest, right? So we gotta retest something. You gotta retest something. So I think that this would be a good place to play a 4-week put around 349. Somewhere near the weekly 20 weeks moving average. I think 349 would probably be what I would play. Probably 4 weeks out if I was gonna play with Microsoft. I'm definitely gonna scoop up some shares when it gets back down to 320. I don't think a lot of this is gonna happen until after this Santa rally, because it is a seasonal rally that we're seeing right now. Now, Microsoft has had 4 green candles outside of the Bollinger Bands. 4 green candles outside of the Bollinger Bands, my guy.
How long is it going to stay out there?
This is definitely a strong play for a reversal.
Reverse.
Now, another strong play for a reversal is a stock that I think is so over bought that it's ridiculous, and that's Nvidia. Nvidia has been trading for weeks in an overbought state, and that's insane. I'm looking Nvidia to go back to 135, definitely 145 before it catches a bid again, right? I wouldn't even buy a share of Nvidia unless it was under $250. But if I was going to play an Nvidia play, I'd probably buy a 2-week 435 and a 4-week 424. Let me write this down real quick. it's gotta go. It's gotta go. It's gotta take a L. It's got to. L. Hold on. Look at that. All right, gold. The old man gold.
Not
The
gold.
old man gold. The old man gold tried to tickle 2,000 again.
XAU.
Right
XAU sitting at 1956. It's down.
1953.
It's down about $13.
Okay. That's what's up. Yeah. Listen, when it comes to gold, I look at gold the same way I look at Bitcoin. Buy low, never sell. There's a lot of good spots to get into gold. Right now, it's not one of them. Personally, I don't think it is. I think the gold will take a dive because gold doesn't normally trade with the dollar. The fact that the dollar's going up and gold's going up is very weird. I think if the dollar keeps going up, gold has to take another dip. I like gold under 1950. That's when I'll start looking to get back into gold. But like I said before, I like physical gold the same way I like cold storage Bitcoin.
Now, with gold on the daily candles, it's been running from 1810 back in October 5th. So
yes, sir.
You're talking about almost a month of green.
And that's what I'm saying is when it gets back under 1950, then I'll start paying attention to it again.
Which the low of today was 1951.
Okay. Yeah. Now, gold has been trading with the XHB for some reason. But they seem to be diverging now. The HXB is the home builders ETF. And I think that the correlation there is people are seeing going to value, going to long-term value, homes, gold, things that are going to hold value, commodities, right? And so right now, the HXB looks like a cup and handle. Now, it could be bearish. It looked like it got rejected by the top of the Bollinger Bands, right? And it a good trading area for it is around 70. So it could be losing its momentum. If it loses its momentum, then we could see gold following the same trend, and we could get back to a good place to start getting in on buying gold again. Now, that's the home builders. Okay, now the TLT. TLT is the 20-year Treasury bond ETF. A lot of people like to play the TLT because when the yield curve starts inverting, people start looking to put their money in safe places. The TLT has really bent me over backwards for the past 2 years. it keeps tickling the taint, but not doing nothing. Every time you think it's about to pop, it doesn't. And so I really think that it's like a rubber band pulling back, getting ready to take off. Because if you look at the TLT on the max, you see it's kind of like the VIX where it has big pops.
Yeah.
So after,
it went back. It done went back and recaptured the liquidity from goddamn 2006.
Yes, sir.
That is fucking ludicrous. It ain't been down here since 2006.
Before the housing crisis. And this is why I think that the TLT, the XHB, and gold all work hand in hand, because the housing crisis pushed the TLT up, pushed gold up, and it pushed bonds up, houses up. So I think we're gonna see a similar response. Let me hit these two messages real quick.
Did you see that Carbon Revolution PLC? It looked like it went up 700% over the last week. That's one.
PLC. I'm gonna go take a peek since he requested.
Yes, sir. PLC.
Sound familiar?
Park Lawn Court.
PLC. No, I don't have it. PLC.
It might be a penny stock.
Is it Park Lawn Corp?
That's what I came up with. Let me just look up what it said. Carbon Revolution PLC. Carbon Revolution. Oh. The hell? Carbon Revolution stock price. The ticker is on NASDAQ TRCA Plus Twin Ridge Capital. It's a SPAC. It's at 3 cents. Carbon Revolution PLC stock quote. Oh, okay, here we go. It's at $57.99 right now. Okay, it was at $7.87 on the 2nd of November. See if we can find some news on it. What is it? Carbon Revolution receives initial fund of $70 million. Well, that'll definitely push a penny stock up. Well, what does the company do? See, when I can't find out what are they merging with this? Twin Ridge company. I can't find anything on the company itself. I mean, hey, if you made money on it, that's cool. I don't really see any information on what they actually do or what they are. Keep us informed.
SPY is down to 437 on the monthly.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Here, let me get these other two messages.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, happy Wednesday. Just got in stereo. Just hearing your conversation. Keep it up. I'll be here listening to you guys.
Appreciate you.
No, I think it was a pump and dump. It looked like it debuted on the index on November the 2nd. It went up to like 192. Then it was at like $70 during the talk. Now it's at 60. That's why.
Okay. See, that's one of the things I was saying before. A lot of these companies that are pump and dumps, they really get you excited and make you want to go out and find the next big move. But finding the next big move is a needle in a haystack. Putting together a portfolio that is going to grow and understanding, moves in the market and following the SPY like cryptos does, and making the right moves, building your portfolio. That's in my personal opinion the best way to build wealth. I got hurt trying to follow these SPACs and find all these great diamonds in the rough. Like it never worked out for me personally.
Yeah, it gets tiresome.
Yeah. So the TLT got an inverse head and shoulders, and that's that 10-year. Now, if we have another pop, because today, I think they're selling $80 billion worth of treasury bonds of 30 years and some 20 years. If we get a pop in that, we could see a major move in the TLT. That could definitely be a play that people could be paying attention to, as a pop in the TLT. Let me bring the TLT back up. 20-year treasury bond. Looking at it on the 1 month, it has a higher high, higher low. We can see if we're gonna repeat that. On the 6 month, we have recaptured the lower high, and it looks like it's growing again. But if these bonds sell and the bond bulls don't show up, it could go back down. So it's definitely another stock that I'm not really trying to chase once again. Oil. BOIL is an index that follows natural gas. I am a natural gas man. I like natural gas. I think that natural gas futures show very positive numbers, and I think that with the pipeline coming out of Africa to Europe being destroyed, wink, wink, by somebody, probably America, and Russia's pipeline to Europe being destroyed, wink, wink, by somebody, probably America. And the only person who's able to actually sell natural gas to Europe, and it's going to be a cold winter, is going to be America. So I think we're going to make some money off some natural gas, and we'll figure out who blew up them pipelines later on. We ain't got to worry about that right now.
So bull is definitely in a bearish trend on the dailies. 3 days in a row, weekly. Of course, this week is bearish because of the 3 days in a row. After last week high of 69.56 and last week low of somewhere around 59, about a $10 week. And it opened this week up at 62.91, pushed down to 52.74, 52.30 something, and it is trading at 57.02 right now. On the weekly. Yeah, I got some support down at looks like somewhere around 52.52, which is a low down there. So it looks like it's trying to go get it. Then the next support is down at 39.32. So what is Boyle gonna do?
Yeah, Boyle is another one of those. They blow up really quick and fast, and then come back down. Indexes. Now, if you're trying to be a little safer, the XLU, which is the Standard & Poor's Utility Select Sectors. So your gas, your electric, your heat, your cooling here in America, they follow that. So it is definitely a safe company. I do believe they have a dividend. The XLU, pretty sure they have a dividend. They have a dividend. I don't see it right now on this page, but I'm pretty sure they got a dividend.
Okay.
But if you want to play heating and cooling, XLU is a very good company to follow.
Trying to see what information it got.
Now, another good play is the U.S. Global Jets ETF. If we take a look at the U.S. Global Jets ETF, it had a nice little jump over the past 5 days, showing that it's a bullish momentum. And if we get back to the 6-year highs, it could be a nice little take home to put in your pocket. Could be nice. I think Jets might have a dividend too. But any of these rich people flying around the world, they're gonna push this up. It's lower than normal because people haven't been doing too much flying ever since, COVID and all that.
What up, Mind's Eye? I see you in the chat, man. What's good? Over on
What's
YouTube.
going on? Okay, what up? Yeah, I got one more message.
I lost all my money invested in natural minerals like the gold and shit. All the motherfuckers tank. I think one went down like 2 fucking cents. Facts. I need no way like at 10 cents or some shit. Facts one.
Sorry to hear you lost all your money, man. That sucks. Whew. Sorry to hear that. Pay attention what we talking about. You might make some money. XBI is the standard and boy. You say you like the SPY. I'm talking about a lot of SPY ETFs today. This is the Standard & Poor's Biotech ETF, the SPI. So they invest in a lot of biotechnology companies, which are going to be really big here shortly. And the reason I'm talking about a lot of these ETFs is because picking individual stocks is becoming really, really hard these days. I'm sorry, picking